Me Time with Ruby. It's Amanda on the sofa along with Charlotte. So how's your week been, Charlotte?
Well, we're back, aren't we?
We're open.
Back to work, back to life, socialising a little bit. Yeah, it's been really nice actually. I was just trying to think what on earth I've done this week, even though the world has opened up a bit. But I mean, really, it's just been nice to be able to meet up with a friend.
Have you done that?
I have.
Haven't. No friends have called me to meet
Oh.
up. No, it's probably because I knew I would be manic getting the shop open, and it has been absolutely manic. It really has. I mean, Monday and Tuesday. So where are we now? We're recording this on Thursday, even though it comes out on Saturday. But Monday and Tuesday, the shop was full, but it was lovely because regular customers were coming in, saying hello.
Well,
it was actually quite emotional,
back, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really emotional and quite overwhelming. And we didn't stop. There was 3 of us in, and it was really, really manic. Wednesday and Thursday, so yesterday and today's been a little bit quieter, but I think it's the lull before the weekend storm.
Absolutely,
so,
it ebbs and flows, doesn't it? So, that's exciting for the weekend then.
Yeah, well, we did wonder though that somebody else said actually it might be a bit quiet because it's Prince Philip's funeral, so
that's true.
I don't know whether...
Not that anyone can go to it.
No,
so,
true.
We can't bust around Windsor, can we?
Might want to watch on TV, but the weather's due to change a bit, isn't it, from the weekend? To get a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
So the shop is full of spring stuff and summer stuff, but we had snow on Monday morning. What was that about?
I don't know. I was sat out in the garden. My parents came over. Yes, finally. And yeah, we were sat in the garden. It was absolutely blissful. And then we saw snow. And we just thought, what's just happened in that moment? It was so bizarre. That kind of, is it sunny? Is it going to snow? Are we in the middle of winter or spring? You just can't tell, can you?
It just did sort of plunge us back into the middle of winter, didn't it?
I feel I'm really strange, I'm sure, but I feel really sad for the birds. I'm like, oh, they're just thinking it's happy and then it's snowing and the plants.
Yeah.
I just feel very sad for all those little shoots coming out.
Well, also my magnolia tree that have been glorious. Just the last, when it's been really cold, they've just shook. I mean, they're starting, the flowers don't last very long anyway, and they're starting to go a bit funny anyway. But it was just all quite sad. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's going to get really. But it's brilliant to be open. Absolutely fantastic.
And it looks lovely as well. And I think, but as you said, you've got your spring stuff in, but then you've got some really nice jackets and things, that kind of layering pieces as well. So you've kind of had to, haven't you? To keep that.
Well, I'm just determined. So I'm determined this is going to be the last week in my leggings and boots. Well, the long boots anyway, because we've had some lovely maxi dresses, some lovely floral dresses. I mean, the shorter ones are possibly a bit too cold still, but having said that, you can get a really hot day in amongst it, can't you? But I've got some lovely floral maxi dresses that have come in, and also some lovely jackets, which I know you're going to talk about. Well, you're wearing one.
I am.
So I just think maxi dresses and short jackets or short cardigans are lovely. So hopefully next week on the sofa I'll be wearing one of our new maxi dresses. Might be with ankle boots. I might not go to the flip flops, but I might shorten the boots and go ankle boots or something.
Oh yeah, well that would be nice, wouldn't it? It's almost just that first step in, isn't it? And everyone's kind of got a different step, a different way in. And for some people it's just kind of wearing some flowers or wearing some pink or some yellow or just kind of bringing that little touch of spring.
So what are we going to talk about? What have we got to talk about on the sofa this week?
So this week we're talking all about Paris. Parisian.
Oh, we can't talk about Paris because I want to go there.
Oh, I'm
and
desperate
my husband
to
won't
go
take me.
Oh.
So it's a bit of a sore subject.
It's all right,
I won't go into my domestic situation now, but I have been once before and I loved it.
Yes.
But that was with my first husband and my second husband.
It's one of those places where I think it's almost like a city of two halves now, where you've got the real sort of touristy centre, where you've kind of got the melting pot of everyone, and then you've got sort of down the side streets and the places where you don't necessarily know to look. That's where you've got all the lovely sort of real Parisian little boutiques. You know, a bit like this, like a little gem that you just wouldn't expect. You know, just kind of hidden away, tucked away, full of beautiful things. And I was reading this article about you can pay to go on these sort of shopping trips, and there's a company that will literally find out what kind of things you want to shop for, and they'll find all the most amazing little tucked away Parisian.
A bit like the Yorkshire Ripper Tour of London, but a little bit
yes,
more
but for
upmarket,
style, yeah.
Style.
A bit less murder and a bit more fashion.
Right.
Yeah, and it just looks so
that
cool.
sounds amazing,
Yeah.
actually, doesn't it?
And I was just looking
I'd
at
love
these
to be
pictures.
part of that.
Oh,
Like in
amazing.
Farnham or something, where people can say, actually, this is the sort of thing I wear.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Just somewhere that like it's just a bit sort of unusual and you know just has an additional charm to all the the high street stores which are just out there and you know what's in them, you know what to expect, and yeah, they have the most amazing little shops, big shops actually. But anyway, so in Paris, I think everyone kind of has an idea of the Parisian look. I mean, what would you say?
Classic.
Yeah,
comes to mind.
classic.
It's the sort of thing that I imagine. I've always wanted to have that look where you can throw on a pair of jeans and a white shirt and just look amazing.
Yeah.
Or
Exactly.
just a simple skirt and a white shirt, but maybe, I don't know, something that just stands out.
Yeah, the little pop.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
it, and that's
something.
exactly it. And that so today, the article we've released that we're talking about is essentially the four secrets of the Parisian look. So things like having that signature look, and the thing is, it's so subtly done often that you don't really realise that that's why that look works, or that's why the
You just
Parisian
know you
women
like it, but
just
you don't
go,
know why.
I really love that, yeah. And what they do, and obviously I don't want to stereotype all Parisian women, these are what I'm talking about, I guess I am sort of the stereotypical Parisian woman that we think about. They kind of have a signature look, a signature piece. So they will put this item with kind of 90% of their wardrobe. They'll buy it because they know it will go with everything.
Okay.
And they can just sling it on and look amazing. So, a pair of
So
jeans
people do
and a
that
shirt.
with items as well as colour, because I think colour, people
Yeah.
tend to be able to do that with colour, but
Yeah.
not necessarily with items.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be it's kind of the signature piece. So for some people, it might be a lovely little bag, like sort of a little wicker bag, or just something that's kind of just a bit unusual, but that sort of you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, that's a bright orange bag, or a bit in your face.
It's not orange.
No, exactly. But as in
Just thought I'd mention that in case everybody switched on.
bright orange or bright pink, or it's not like an in-your-face
Actually,
item.
That looks really amazing. Oh, I've just knocked that.
It's a
Even though it's slightly different tone.
Yeah.
It's the gold.
It's got the gold, yeah. It's just something that's kind of subtle, and that's what makes it pop almost. Is because you just think there's something really amazing about this outfit, and it's just the way they've kind of put it together. So yeah, so a little bag of some kind, a jacket, signature jacket. So something like this could just go with everything.
That is a real signature jacket.
Yeah, a pair of sunglasses. So you
And
can
that
just have-
is completely washable. So it's not leather. It looks like leather. So it's
It does,
actually
and it
vegan
feels
friendly,
like it
which
too.
is fantastic. But what I didn't realise when I ordered them in is they're actually washable, which
Well,
is
that's
just
amazing,
amazing,
isn't it?
Especially with cream.
don't have to take it to the dry cleaners.
Or white, whatever, yeah, what to call it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just kind of finding what works for you and finding your signature piece. So yeah, as I say, like a pair of sunglasses even, but usually they'll have quite a sort of not necessarily all high street, but you'll very rarely find a Parisian woman, and this is coming from the mouth of a Parisian woman because it's based on sort of the research I've done of these women. They say they don't tend to have all designer. They will have high street pieces and then throw the designer bits in as a kind of little cherry on top. So when you're looking for that signature piece, look for something that is kind of maybe higher in your budget than you'd normally have, but you know you're going to wear it all the time. Hence why, for some people, that might be a bag. It might just be something you can just put on every day. For someone else, it might be a really lovely jacket that you're going to wear all summer and into autumn. So just finding what works for you.
So something like that that's
Yeah.
quite classic, unusual, because when I bought those in, they are more than perhaps some of our other jackets. I think they're around about sort of 169, 175 pounds. But I think it is a real signature piece. I know
Yeah.
I've got some jackets that I've had in my wardrobe for 15 years
Yeah.
of certain labels.
And then you think, actually, yes, you might be spending a little bit more on that signature piece, but you're going to wear it so much more because you've taken that time to find an investment piece, rather than just going, I like that, have that, like that, have that, like that, have that, and then maybe wearing it once or twice and going, oh, why did I buy that?
So are you saying, possibly the classic jeans, I don't know, I'm just trying to think how much ours are, so say, I don't know, a £45 pair of jeans, and maybe a £30 shirt or something, and then just putting something on
Exactly.
Like-
Yeah.
that's unusual, a
Yeah.
bit different.
And it kind of pulls the whole look together. So it's just all about finding that piece that kind of represents you almost, that you would feel really good wearing all the time. So for me, actually, this jacket would be ideal as my signature piece because A, I love it, and B,
You're not having a child.
B,
Just thought I'd mention
I
that
just, you know, it would go with everything. You know, you want something that you can literally put on with everything. And for someone else, that might be a sort of heavy leather black biker jacket, for example. It's whatever suits you and your style. So yeah, a hat, you know, belt, or
So
anything.
it just finishes
that,
off the look,
exactly.
and just gives you that. Wow,
Yeah.
that looks lovely, but I'm not quite sure
And it just
why.
pulls it all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we also do that in navy, because we were. I'm
We're
in
gonna
knowing
do the
whether to
navy,
put the navy
yeah.
with it or the cream, but actually we went.
I
with
think
the
it's really
cream.
nice actually with the cream because it pulls the sort of the cream out in the dress. And actually, speaking of the dress, we're going to go on to colour, as you were saying. So you know, with colour, it's about for that kind of Parisian look. It's not about having all mad colours or you know a whole red dress and you know nothing too in your face. It's about bringing a little bit of colour through. Again, that sort of slightly pared down look that you mentioned, the jeans, the white shirt, but then bringing a pop of colour. So, for example, as you know, a jacket that you could just pop over, but nothing, not like a huge sort of floor length sweeping jacket, but just like a little gilet or something that's got a bit of colour through it. A pair of shoes, a belt.
Okay.
We've got these really lovely crossover bags that we couldn't find.
Yeah.
That I love. It's kind of it's the one with the double sort of C look, and it's got the coloured striped strap,
Yeah.
and that strap is what kind of brings through just a little bit of
Different.
a little bit of something. But then also, if you want to wear pattern, because it's not actually, you don't often think of Parisian women in patterns, but actually, apparently this year there's a lot of the small floral. So if you're wanting to go for a slightly Parisian look, but you don't want to go completely sort of bare because you
Right,
like a bit
yeah.
of pattern. Something like this, you know, with the sort of smaller flowers. Yeah.
We've actually got quite a lot of floral dresses just come in,
Yeah.
actually, different lengths,
Yeah, perfect.
midi length, mini length, and maxi length.
Yeah.
Really. Because I think they're just great, aren't they?
They're quite timeless, I think. I think a floral will always work, but if you're actually sort of specifically thinking, oh, I'd love to just have a wardrobe which I can just go, I want that and that to work, and it just works, like a proper capsule wardrobe. I think just something like this, or just something that you can just put on, you know, look, here I am in my Parisian outfit. It's my signature
Which actually,
piece,
I
my
was going to
floral
say,
dress.
I was going to ask you something, but I didn't really want to put you in the spot, but I'm going to anyway.
Do it.
So I would say, knowing you, that you're not the Parisian type,
No.
because you mortify me with your 6 colours and things that I would never put with anything. So
No.
yeah, so
It's not my classic look. No, my classic look's a little bit different to that.
very tactful, very well.
But I
dealt
do
with
love
that.
it, and you know, I kind of wish I was more drawn to that because I look at these women and I think, oh,
And
they
do
look
look
so
amazing.
chic.
Yeah.
But then I see a woman next to them wearing something ridiculous. I'm like, oh, but that's really cool. So it's what you're drawn to,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, and that's kind of what I always think Ruby Lala is about, is that you do sort of tailor the things you buy to such a huge number of people. You know, you've got the colourful things, you've got the sort of denims and the day-to-days, but you've also got, you know, just everything, and that's what's really lovely. So actually, you can create something really simple. I've pulled these out just to show
I
that
love those. I've got
So,
2 pairs of them. I
yeah,
love them.
a pair of
flip flops in the summer.
elasticated waist. Don't be thinking a Parisian woman wouldn't wear that, because they would. If they're not in jeans, they're going to be in something like this. Not a pair of leggings. They go to they'd go to the gym, or you know, come back from the gym, but they would change into something on top, like a smart jacket or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas we tend to wear sort of like that, the leisure wear, or our, you know, our sports clothes day to day in the UK. We don't really do that. They don't really do that in Paris. Even coming back from the
So
gym.
sportswear
they'll
is
pop something-
for sport.
It's for sport. They'd put a jumper or something over to come home in. But if they're not fancying their jeans, they would wear something like this, something loose, something comfortable. I love these with the extra
They're gorgeous.
paneling at the
yeah.
side. But then you still get the comfort of the leggings, and they're
Yeah.
so chic as well. And pair that with, you know, your white t-shirt. I brought the one with the red on it. They're red butterflies because that's just pretty. They might not wear that.
You just couldn't resist bringing it.
I just couldn't resist. I love a heart and I love a butterfly. But you know, why not? I mean, it's still chic, isn't it? It's still very sweet. And you know, wearing that with that, something like that.
And a little crop jacket.
Yeah.
See, I would
pop
put
your
a t-shirt
signature over it.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly acceptable in Paris. So just having something.
So I can imagine people sitting home thinking, oh, I'm going to Paris, but my wardrobe doesn't suit Paris.
Well, but that's the thing, yeah. I mean, anything black, white, navy. That's one of the, in England we don't, or the UK, we don't tend to sort of think black and navy. I think we're starting to go towards that sort of colour way, but generally we think black and navy shouldn't work. But in Paris, it's really sort of the look du jour, as they say.
Right.
It's black and navy, and the sort of the neutral colours and white. Put them together in any kind of way, and then just add your personality on top of it.
Right.
That's probably the easiest way to do your Parisian look if you're going to Paris.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I was going to just ask you, so it's just gone out of my head. I was just thinking about it actually. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. Without wanting to cause any. I don't know what the word is really. Trouble, I suppose.
Alarm.
Yeah. But one thing that does strike me is, you know, I don't know, I'm a bit mortified with people going to the theatre in jeans or going out in the, I mean, I'm probably saying stuff totally out of line here. Someone's going to do me for not being politically correct, but it is just my view that, you know, I think it's sad that we actually don't make an effort. You know, I generally would never wear, like if I'm on holiday, wear something during the day, I would hate to then go out and eat in that in the evening.
Yeah.
I would feel really unwashed or whatever. And people just don't seem to make the effort these days. Not just for going to the theatre, but just generally we don't.
Yeah.
And I know we've had lockdown and stuff, and I think that's a reasonable excuse not to. But you know, for me, coming back to work this week and actually putting a blouse and a jacket, and you might actually start to see it because if you look at the me times with Ruby's, which we did in lockdown, you know, I'm sitting here a lot of the time, you know.
Well, you were
in
wearing
more casual
casual
stuff,
stuff,
yes.
weren't you? Yeah.
Whereas now I would put on a jacket
You're
and a
getting
shirt
back
for
into the
work.
swing of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people will start to get back into the swing of it now. You know, I think we have been in a phase where there's been a lot of that sort of leisure wear and, you know, the leggings and the trainers and things, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just nice to have the opportunities to be able to get dressed up again. And I think it will take us a little minute to just go, oh, I could put a dress on and actually go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, not just to the living room and back. So yeah, no, I know what you mean actually. I think.
I mean, I'm quite traditional as well, I suppose.
I
So
think
for
it is
me,
a tradition, isn't it?
for me, going to a funeral is black. There is something about, you know, for me, a funeral is to mourn, not to celebrate a life. I know everybody has different views, but you know, coming from a psychotherapy background, I think it's important to grieve and to not put something under an umbrella. And I just think that with clothes as well, it's important to.
Well, I think with
to
things like
make an
going to the
effort
theatre, for
you know, the
example, going out
theatre
for a
is-
meal. Yeah, it's something a bit special, isn't it? So you
Yeah,
sort of think,
and I don't mean you have to get, you know, if I go to the theatre, I don't suddenly put on high heel shoes and stuff like that, but I would change from what I'm wearing during the day, and you know, perhaps if I, you know, maybe wore a blouse in here during the day, I would then put a jacket, you know, and maybe a pair of earrings on or something.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
change my jewellery to what I'd call a more evening. You know, I'm not saying you have to dress up and you have to wear makeup and all of those things because of
No,
course
but it's
it does.
nice to as well. And I think actually now more than ever we'll all start doing that just because we're so happy that we can. I think we'd probably all got a little bit tired before lockdown, if I'm honest. Before all of this, I think we'd all got, you know, obviously speaking for myself, but when you sort of look at how the world was running and working, I think everyone had just got a little bit lost. Didn't really know. Whereas now we kind of celebrate, don't we? We celebrate being able to leave our home. The little things have become important again. And I think probably in doing that,
haven't they, this week? So, yeah.
absolutely. I think style and fashion and being able to express ourselves in that way will become really important again. And I think it'll be really exciting to see
I
what
don't know
happens.
if it's just a generation thing. You know, I don't know. I don't want to stereotype. I don't really know any answers of what it is. I suppose it's just an observation from my point of view that I just think maybe things don't, you know, people don't make such a effort. sometimes I wish I didn't, because you know, I end up taking 2 suitcases on holiday because I've got evening clothes and daytime
You
clothes.
should take one just for my shoes.
We take 2 suitcases. Half of one is for my husband,
Yeah.
and the 1.5 is for me. Plus the
Absolutely.
2 holders that we take and
Yeah,
all sorts of
of
stuff.
course.
And then I come back with stuff that I bought anyway.
Oh yeah.
I will be away.
Well, don't go to Paris then. For goodness sakes, don't take him.
That's probably why I do want to go to Paris. It's probably why.
Yeah,
I do
you
want
need to
go.
book that sort of
Yeah.
secret shoppers trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting because what you're saying there, because actually one of the pieces I was reading was by a sort of younger Parisian girl, and she said actually I would never wear sports clothes in the daytime, as in like a whole look, and this is in the article as well, but she would wear a vintage sports brand like LS or Fila or something like that, and like a jumper or the trousers or something like that, like kind of the stuff I wore when I was maybe 14, so we're talking maybe 20 years ago, that's probably considered Y2K
Right.
vintage. I refuse to accept that 2000 is vintage. Vintage Y2K. And she will wear that in the day, but she said actually I will wear that out dancing at night, a jumper.
Okay.
And you think, okay, I get it, because actually in a
Too
way,
hot.
well, yeah, aside from anything, I'll be overheating. But I mean, aside from anything, it's kind of, it's a sports top. So for me, I'm thinking, I wouldn't wear that out dancing. But in Paris, if you're going to wear sports stuff, it's a look. It's like you've got to own it. And that's what
Right.
she said. She said, either you have no idea what's going on if you wear sports stuff in Paris, or it's you making a statement,
Right.
a bold
Okay.
statement.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
And I quite like that. I like the fact that sort of putting on a sporty jumper was a statement, and rather than, you know, oh, I can't bother today.
But that also leads to something else that I think about, that, you know, I have quite a few customers that come in and say, well, what do you think, could I wear this? And to me, you wear what you want
Yeah.
to wear.
Absolutely.
You know, and the thing where, you know, if we're, I mean, it doesn't happen so much now, because I think about perhaps, I don't know, the friends that I've got or whatever, maybe we're a bit more competent, but you know, years ago, if you were going to a function, you'd ring everybody and see what they're
What are
wearing.
you wearing? Yeah.
Whereas to me, I will wear what I want to wear and walk into a room and feel comfortable with whatever I'm wearing.
Yeah.
You know, if everybody's got jumpers on, but
Mm.
I've got a blouse and a jacket, as long as I feel comfortable in it, it doesn't really matter to me.
If you're in your wedding dress.
And everybody's looking at, yeah, well, no, I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, it's that thing where, you know, you don't so much now. I don't tend to think, oh, I'm going to a party, what's everybody wearing?
Yes.
Or we're going for dinner, I'll just wear what I feel is me.
And I think a big part of that actually is knowing your body type and buying clothes that you feel good in. And I think that a lot of people don't do that even now. You know, people don't necessarily know what their body type is, or what kind of shape of clothes or jackets, or where the skirt should sit, or the trousers should fall. And I think it is something, when you are sort of a bit of an avid shopper like I am, you do kind of learn this naturally anyway. But there are ways that you can find out. You know, you just go on YouTube, for example, or online, or you can hire someone to sort of help you with that and style it. But you know, I think things like that, that's where that confidence comes from, is actually going, I know what suits me, I know what fits me, this is what I'm going to buy for that reason, and it doesn't matter what everyone else is wearing, because I know I feel good in this. And I think that's a big part of this kind of Parisian look, is just that comfort in what they're wearing. And actually comfort was one of the things we talked about, was the fact that a pair of white sneakers, pure, like a pristine white pair of sneakers, speaking of
If you
comfort,
get a scuff on them, they've got to go in the
you've
bin.
got to go in the bin. Can you imagine? Yeah, so I've got them out, just, I mean, perfect and beautiful. You have your sports shoes for the gym, and then you change out of them to walk home.
I remember sort of saying to the staff, actually, you know, in just sort of the staff handbook, you know, no trainers to work. And then I was informed that trainers are actually quite trendy, and it's the latest on trend. So yeah, I might have to review the staff
I
handbook.
suppose it depends on the trainer, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, it does. If they're clearly
Yes.
sport ones, then
Yes.
that's different. But something like
Something
that,
like that.
which is the look with maxi dresses and stuff like that.
And that's the thing with something like that, they wear it with everything, you know, with the dress, with jeans, with, you know, literally anything you can imagine, with the harem pants. Just, you know, there's a real classic staple piece, so that's definitely a staple. Your signature's definitely a staple. Some kind of colour pop, definitely a Parisian staple. And then the other thing we discussed was the accessories. Now, we did discuss accessories a few weeks ago and about sort of looking put together and having quite fine pieces of jewellery, gold or platinum. And that's always a very good go-to, you know, like a lovely sort of drop necklace or something. But actually, a really classic pair of statement earrings would be one way that you could sort of up your look a bit.
So nothing, just the statement earrings.
Just the statement earrings, nothing else.
Right. Okay.
So I pulled these ones. You might want to wear some clothes with them.
Not just the earrings. Each to their own.
Each to their own. I mean, you know, you might get pulled over in Tesco's. And I'm wearing my statement earrings.
I'm just wearing my statement piece. What do you mean?
I really love these because they've got that kind of what would you call it? Not stone. It's not a stone. Is it crystal? It kind of looks like a tiger's eye with the gold. So you still got that really classic bit of jewellery, and then just that.
Actually, I'm just thinking they will go with the maxi dress that we've got in, which I can't show you because it's downstairs. But it has got that sort of brown bit. They would look great. So I might actually.
But are there a colour that could go with loads of things as well? That's the other thing. You know, they're with that. If you don't go too mad and out there with your colour choice with your statement earrings, you can wear it, you know, with as much of your wardrobe as possible. You know, so that's quite a nice, affordable way to give yourself that pop.
So if you don't want the statement jacket, the statement earrings.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? And I mean, yeah, they're really lovely, aren't they? They'd go with lots and lots of things. So yeah, that's kind of how to get your Parisian look, but it's all in the article. So
so have a read of that. And what have you got planned for us next week, Charlotte?
So next week we're talking about classic with a twist. So we've been looking at sort of the classics this week.
Right.
But next week is going to be finding your classic look and then how you can add a little bit of twist to it.
So I might have my maxi dress on next week with my jacket and maybe my lovely earrings or whatever if I can
and your
get
white
those.
trainers.
But I'll probably have bags and ties too because it's been such a busy week. But no, it's lovely to actually physically see people because we haven't done much socialising. I know you said you've been out for a drink with a friend.
Well, no, just walks really.
Oh, right,
but
okay, no, I haven't actually done.
I am going to a friend's house on Saturday though. There's
And
we're
going
in
to
the
a friend's
garden
on Sunday.
That would be really nice.
Just 4 of us in the garden for a
that's
barbecue. So let's just take. I mean, normally I would never
things
do a
together.
barbecue this time of year. I know lots of people do, but I have to be really. It has to be warm for me to sit outside. But needs must, I suppose.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll get one of your big blankets.
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, have a lovely weekend, and thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next week.